This is Tim Allen. I'm Big Blue. We'll bring you the best in New York Giants sports talk entertainment. It's the Tuesday after the Wednesday, Monday after the Sunday after the big win. Didn't go on Twitter. Stayed far away. But I did pick up the New York Post. Probably shouldn't have done that. Because that even made me laugh even harder. Because the headline was Cold-Blooded Daniel Jones. I was like, okay. I know you're trying to sell papers. I get it. I know people are trying to get clicks. I know people are trying to get likes. And like I say, in bleeps and bloops and everything else. But really, the cold-blooded Daniel Jones finally has come of age. Let's go to game 2 first. Cowboys are 7.5-point favorites on Tuesday here going into week 5's game. Let's just get to week 2 first, and let's see a progression for Daniel Jones. That's all. We're not asking a lot. We're not asking a ton. We're just asking for a progression. I do have to laugh because before we get into what I want to talk about, evidently James Bradbury's restructuring his contract. Who isn't restructuring the contract? He's restructuring it to create $2.7 million in cap space in 2021. Oh, the move creates 2,000 cap space. The Giants are down to 500,000. So you know where we're moving the money to? We're moving the money to 2022 because that year doesn't exist. Oh, Lordy. But let's talk about Daniel Jones, and let's talk about some good things about the Giants and some things, not bad things, but things that we need to be concerned about. Daniel Jones. And I've said this before because it reminds me of Buzz Lightyear, not light beer, Buzz Lightyear, because you know what? It's 7 yards and beyond. That's what Daniel Jones did. He finally looked beyond 7 yards. And that's kind of what we've been asking him to do since last year. Reception lengths, 28, 21, 52, 54, 20. And those are just some of them. Longest, of course, was 54 to Barkley, but that was more of a big Barkley run. But he had the nice pass to John Ross. He had some big plays downfield to Kenny G. He wasn't red striping, and he was looking beyond the 7-yard line, beyond 7 yards. And I always say this about Daniel Jones. I've said it before. Daniel Jones has a tendency to only seem to see the field 7 yards beyond the line of scrimmage. Against the Saints, he went downfield. He looked downfield. You have to give him all the credit in the world from that. And I love the one person that was on the comments say, didn't you say he should go sell insurance? Yeah, I did. I said, I'd rather have an asshole who can read defenses. I don't care if you're a nice guy. If you're a nice guy, go sell insurance. Yeah, I did say that. 100%. I'm not going to back down from that. I'm not a wuss. I don't say something and then back down for it or change my opinion mid-season. It's called honesty. Look it up. It's in the dictionary. But Daniel Jones' effectiveness will only happen if he continues to look down the field. If he continues to keep his vision beyond 7 yards of the line of scrimmage. Because good things will happen with your playmakers if you look further down the field. Such as completing 28 of 40 for 400 yards. 2 touchdowns. Average yard per play for Daniel Jones was 10.1. 10.1. Can we take a guess what his average yard per play was before that? Let's take a look. 6.6 and 6.6. That means his average pass went 6.6 yards. Or the play went 6.6 yards. He's at 8.2. He's at 10.1 for this game. It just shows good things happen if you keep your eyes downfield. 7 yards and beyond. Daniel Jones Lightyear. Only hope we can continue this against Dallas. Dallas secondary is suspect at best. They are playing well. They've improved. You have to worry about that front 7 to Dallas, especially those linebackers. Oh, that kid. What's his name? What's that kid's name that Dallas drafted? He had a sack. Tackle for a loss. Had 4 tackles, 3 solo. What's his name? Parsons. Yeah, Michael Parsons. Never heard of him before. Playing well. Playing well. But you got to think about some things here. There's some good things about the Giants games, and there were some things you need to think about for a second. And these are the things that we're going to need to think about for the rest of the season. You're going to have to worry. I'm not worried about Kadarius Toney taking over for Darius Slayton. I am concerned about John Ross having some longevity in reference to injuries and being able to play for an extended period of time. You have to think, was this more of an aberration for Saquon Barkley? And you hope it's not. His longest run of the day was 17 yards. He had 13 carries, 52 yards, 4 yards a carry, 1 touchdown. I said in the stream before, they were going to try to find a way to get him out in space, and that's what they did with his 5 catches for 74 yards. Of course, a big one for 54. Get Barkley out in space, good things happen. For all the playmakers the Giants have, we've also seen the Giants playmakers go in a tank for 3 games. Now, is that the fault of Jason Garrett? Is that a fault of the playmakers? Or is that the fault of the fact that Daniel Jones was not looking downfield? And I think that's really going to be where the interest lies. Because if you take a look at his other games, he had yards, 7.2, 7.8, 7.6, 10.1. Why? Because, again, he's looking down the field. His longest in that 3-game stretch was 42 yards. The other ones were 38 and 33. Look downfield, throw the ball, good things happen. Not that difficult. It's called football. I want to talk about the defense for a minute. The defense should be a question for concern for a lot of Giant fans. Is there a way to fix it? Because of the fact you cannot go no quarterback pressures, no quarterback hits, no sacks. You do that against the upcoming quarterback opponents that we have, and they might throw for 500 yards. I don't care how good the secondary is. And we seem to be only getting pressure due to the fact that our secondary has played well yesterday. But you cannot continuously rely on your secondary to be your saver for your pass rush. And I've said this many times. You can cover up for your pass rush deficiencies by having a good secondary. You can also cover up your secondary deficiencies by having a good pass rush. So right now, the Giants fall in the first half. But the problem is you're asking a lot, especially against Dallas. You're asking a lot from Logan Ryan, Adoree Jackson, Peppers. Let's see if Peppers is hurt or not. You also got to wear, Bradbury. But that's the thing. We just have to figure out a way to get Patrick Graham, the genius, because he was a genius last year. He was a genius. We has to figure out a way to generate a rush. Bringing the corners on third down, it's just not doing it anymore. The league has figured it out. The league has figured out, keep an extra blocker in the backfield because where he's going to blitz a corner on third down. Why don't you blitz a safety? Why don't you blitz a linebacker? Why don't you put an extra defensive lineman in there and blitz? Just try something different. The league has figured you out, Patrick Graham. I think we've all come to the conclusion that Tay Crowder, of course, is not Blake Martinez. He did have 9 total tackles. None for a loss. All of his tackles, same with him and Reggie Ragland, were well into the second level. The good news is they made the tackles. They didn't miss the tackles. Because then Alvin Kamara may have had like 200 yards. So that's a good thing. We had a Dexter Lawrence sighting with 6 tackles. He looked, and I've said this before, he looked gassed during that game. Same with Austin Johnson and Danny Shelton. They were just moving. I get concerned when we go up against Dallas because with the way they run the ball and the way they can pass the ball, it could be an issue. Because you're going to have games where the secondary has an off day. That's just life. You're going to have a secondary where they're just not going to play well. And if that happens, your defense needs to pick up and have the opportunity to get to the quarterback. I put in a level of concern when I said, too many people are relying on Ojulari to be this pass rushing guy. What happened to O'Shane Ximines? What happened to Lorenzo Carter? O'Shane Ximines had 4 tackles, but no pressure. What happened to King of the Almost Sack? Where's Leonard Williams? Is he still on the team? Because Hill ran his ass over going into the end zone. And like I said, where's Lorenzo Carter? Where the hell is Carter Coughlin? Does anyone get a Carter Coughlin sighting? Why is he not on the field? Lot to talk about this week. Lot to come on with the big Dallas game. And again, this is Tone the Online Big Blue. Will bring you the best of New York Giants sports talk and entertainment. And as always, if you like, if you subscribe, ring that bell, you know what it means. That'd be awesome.